Fellas, let me just start this video off by saying the rework Bungie has done to Wicked Implement is absolutely S tier. And I really didn't know what to think leading into this sandbox. It was getting its archetype change, going from a 180 round per minute scout rifle to a 260, essentially placing it from the precision archetype into the rapid fire frame archetype. Now let me just say, Wicked Implement has never really been meta. Yes, there's been a few times where when we've had stasis synergy in our artifact mods, we've definitely broken it out. But in Edge of Fate, everything is aligned perfectly. Not only do we have a number of artifact mods that do in fact synergize with stasis beautifully, but that's on top of the rework here to Wicked and the fact that Bakris is so easy to use now. You could use it on Arc, you could use it on Stasis. I'm still staying on Stasis here, but even beyond that, I feel like I get my class ability back so fast being built into this new stat system. And let me just say, it drops that time to kill value down inside of PvP substantially. It catches so many people by surprise, dropping to that 0.7 time to kill value. Today, guys, we're going to be going over Wicked Implements, its rework, what's changed with it, how it's working now. We're going to talk about the various stasis synergies that are popping off in the current season. I'm also going to drop a build link down below if you're just looking to plug and go. But if there's anything you could take away from this video, is that Wicked Implement is definitely worth a second look. Now, originally, this exotic was earned from the exotic mission called Whetstone. But since then, Bungie has changed up the ways to obtain this exotic. As long as you own the Lightfall expansion, you'll just need an exotic cipher. Go to the Monument of Lost Light vendor in the tower and you're able to pick it up. Now the catalyst has a random chance to drop for doing playlist activities. So that's how you get the exotic and its catalyst in 2025. Now let's talk about these changes. Looking at the patch notes, Wicked Implement was converted from a 180 round per minute precision frame to a 260 round per minute rapid fire frame. This makes it similar to other scout rifles like Randy's throwing knife or even Fang of Your Utes. Now let me just say, this is a very competitive archetype, which allows this gun to feel much snappier and pepper your enemies one shot after the next. Now this change from 180 to 260 greatly helps not only that snappiness, but also its DPS. Testing it here against Carl, Wicked Implement deals 66 damage per crit with a new max size of 20, giving it a 1 mag total damage of 1,320 and a DPS value of 297. Keep in mind, this is solely based on our crit damage across an entire magazine. You're also going to be getting that shatter damage in there from freezing the targets, which is going to up your damage further. Now comparing this to how Wicked worked previously, it only had a max size of 15, giving it a 1 mag total of 990 and a DPS value of 212. So as you can see here, guys, this is a very nice jump here inside of PvE just because of an archetype change. Now the main exotic trait is creeping attrition. Rapidly landing precision hits causes targets to become slowed. This also makes the gun intrinsically overload, and this trait requires 4 precision hits within 4.5 seconds of each shot to give the slowing effect, which is 1 additional shot than before to account for the faster rate of fire it now has. Now this can be extended with each additional precision shot, giving even more slowing to a target. You can see here that the more you shoot a target, the more slow stacks that it applies, eventually leading to a shatter for even more damage on a single target. Now this makes it have a pseudo chill clip effect that essentially procs off of headshots. That is also another exotic trait to help synergize even more, Tithing Harvest. This trait reads that while creeping attrition is active, destroying stasis crystals or landing precision final blows creates a stasis shard. The stasis shard returns to you, and collecting stasis shards refills the magazine. Now let me just say, this is a very unique trait, as this gives the gun a way to generate stasis shards just for killing. Now there's a 2-second cooldown on spawning stasis shards, but as long as you're getting headshot kills or breaking crystals, you'll have shards everywhere. Now keep in mind, stasis shards give 10% melee energy on pickup, on top of a ton of synergies in the artifact that we're going to get into in just a moment. Now this brings us to the catalyst. Wicked Implement has a very strong catalyst as it provides 2 different benefits. The first one is pretty simple, with the gun getting the regular perk headstone for free. The gameplay loop of this gun is already heavily focused on headshots to help trigger that slow from the exotic perk. This now gives more value from those headshots, with a giant crystal that can easily be shattered with the gun itself. Remember, we also create a stasis shard from any crystal we shatter with the Tithing Harvest traits, which we are now making with headshot kills. The other catalyst is Hadopelagic Tribute, which allows for stasis shards collected to give ammo and even overflow the magazine. Now, if you're constantly picking up stasis shards, it makes it so that you rarely have to even reload the gun. This means stasis shards now give the benefit of reloading the gun, overflowing the gun, and giving you melee energy. But this takes us to our artifact synergies. With this change to Wicked Implement and this bump in its DPS, the artifact mods here kicks it up to 11. We have a ton of stasis synergies here that we're really just now starting to dip our toes into. We've got Fever and Chill, which literally just gives us free frost armor for getting multiple precision hits with the stasis weapon. Now for Wicked Implements, this is 6 precision hits to have the gun gain 9 seconds of frost armor. And since the entire game plan here is to land precision hits to get those slowing rounds and to get those headstone procs, now you're able to include survivability on top of all that. Frost armor provides more survivability with the extra damage resist, and this artifact mod allows us to get this without even needing to get a kill. We can then use one with frost, which allows us to get some reload and stability for free, and this artifact perk gives 20 reload and 15 stability to our stasis weapons while frost armor is active. We can then add on rapid precision rifling for even more reload. We just needed to hit 3 precision hits for some increased reload speed, something we're already going to be doing. Then we have Frigid Glare, which typically has a lot of conditions, but luckily for us, we can meet all those conditions to activate this artifact perk just by playing with Wicked Implements. You see, Frigid Glare asks us to get a precision kill with the stasis weapon, and while frost armor is active, if done, you get a freezing burst in a 6-meter radius. Now this provides Wicked Implement with even more AoE and more guaranteed freezing and stasis destruction. Then we have Frost Renewal, which is great for when we break a shield while we have frost armor. You'll get a stasis burst freeze, which provides you and your allies with even more frost armor. Every one of these artifact perks here, guys, helps in providing Wicked Implements with even more lethality, pushing the gun to be that much stronger. Now there's also artifact perks that help the stasis shards, something the gun is generating and picking up constantly. You have Refresh Threads and Element of Coalescence, which is great if you're running a stasis super. Refresh Threads provide some ability energy to your least charge ability when picking up stasis shards, and Element of Coalescence generates more stasis shards just for getting kills. You've got Element of Overdrive, which gives Wicked Implement 10% more damage for 7 seconds as long as you pick up a stasis shard. Keep in mind, these shards you see here are tracking to you, so you're pretty much just going to get free damage constantly. Now you do have an alternative in the final column if the build you're using is melee focus. You've got Shield Crush, which helps to provide some easy melee damage and recharge rates just as long as you have frost armor. Pretty much, the artifact juices Wicked Implements in both its ability to kill more, the ability to get more stasis going off in an arena, and the opportunity to generate more stasis shards with even more benefits for picking them up. Now this takes us to PvP. 260 round per minute scout rifles are actually pretty competitive. There are plenty of maps and lanes where a good Fang of your Utes can get pulled out and demolish someone in a flash with near unlimited range. Now the time to kill at base is not that competitive, at least in comparison to Fang, as base rapid fires killing 4 crits 1 body 0.93 seconds. Now if you do get up to 200 weapon stats, this does get lowered slightly to 3 crits 2 body, but still a 0.93 second TTK. Now if you compare this to Fang of your Utes with precision instruments, which is a very popular role, that's killing in 0.7 seconds. But there's a couple things here. Number one, Wicked Implement is a great dueling weapon. Its ability to apply slow in the middle of the gunfight, and when you start to combine it with things like Bakris, that 10% damage buff from Mask of Bakris inside of PvP is just enough to allow you to get the kill in 4 crits 0.7 seconds, matching it to that of Fang of your Ute. And guys, let me just say, I caught so many Guardians by surprise with this. I would dodge, get light shift, challenge, and so many people would challenge Wicked, and I would immediately get that slow, that freeze off. I would spawn in that stasis shard, which would do AoE damage to anyone that was around that target that I just killed. I was very surprised just how well it handled. Granted, it's not just Wicked itself, it's the combination of Wicked with Bakris, but it is very good. And it also catches Guardians by surprise, even in its base form. Pretty much, if you're getting shot by Wicked Implements, you have to duel. You cannot run away. It's not like you could take off running because it's a good chance you're going to get slowed. And by that point, you're dead. So if you actually get shot by a Wicked Implement, your best bet is actually just to straight up challenge and hope you come out on top. Now, could you utilize this with other exotics outside of Bakris? I think for PvP, Bakris all the way. However, inside of PvE, you do have a ton of different choices. You've got Rhyme Coat Raiment. You also have Mask of Filthy. Bakris, for me, was by far the best. After using your class ability, you're able to gain 10% more stasis damage for 10 seconds, and you can now get class ability on kills to get another dodge and then stack that benefit even further, up to 3 stacks. What this means, guys, is you can now get 30% more stasis damage for 10 seconds. And keep in mind, this also applies to Arc, and yes, you can rock an Arc class, but if you're rocking Wicked Implement, I would suggest still staying on stasis. Now, the amount of class ability energy you get back is tied to your class stats, so make sure you juice that up if you're going to be rocking Bakris. You only need 2 kills to refund your class ability, and I even run a high class stat inside of PvP, which is worth it in my opinion. Now, for my Titans, you do have Icefall Mana, which is also pretty good. Gives you frost armor, makes you more tanky, feeds into the exotic itself. You could definitely go that route. In conclusion, guys, Wicked Implement Implement has always been a workhorse. Somehow, someway, Bungie has taken that even further. It can create stasis shards just by shooting. It has insane synergy with the artifact, juicing it with even more AoE, freezing, reloading, and damage. It's self-reliant, it does a crazy amount of stasis verbs, and it all fits right here in a primary weapon. It can be used in great content where playing back is greatly enabled, even in things like mythic missions. The amount you can do just for shooting some ants in the head is very fun, and it keeps the gun's playstyle going the more you do it. Wicked Implement has never been better than what it is now, and I highly recommend you try it out. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.